Hello everyone, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another video, and this is one of those philosophy type of videos, and I'm going to do something, and there's an illustrative point to this. It's not just, well, obviously you see the title of this. Obviously what I have here is a meat product. Observe. It's a Jack Link's pepperoni thing. Sorry for eating on camera, guys. The reason I'm doing this is obviously to illustrate that I am not a vegetarian, right? That was the only reason I ate that on camera. So, basically what I've been thinking about this somewhat lately. Maybe it was partly, it's not entirely because the recent death of my dog, maybe that was partly responsible for it, but it's just something I've been thinking about, you know, off and on for a while now. And I'm asking, obviously the title of this is, are we hypocrites, right? And obviously me eating that meat product shows what I mean. Obviously I'm still mourning and grieving the loss of my dog recently. And I thought to myself, well, I have such a close relationship with, dogs and cats too. I consider myself equally a cat person. I would never consider eating them, for sustenance, right? But meat products, I assume since this is, beef came from a cow, right? I eat pork, which is obviously pigs, and I eat poultry, which is, chicken and, whatever, right? So, obviously I eat meat. Now, to be fair, as humans, we are biologically designed to eat meat. I'm not saying that meat is not part of the natural human diet. It absolutely is. But we have a capacity that other animals don't have, right? We have the capacity to, look at our actions and see what, the implications of them are, right? So, like, I think of myself as, quote, an animal lover, but, I eat meat. Does that make me a hypocrite? Maybe. Maybe it does. But yet, I'm biologically programmed to crave that meat. So it's kind of this dichotomy, right? Because it's not only the eating of the meat that's an issue. It's the way the animals are treated before they are, made into meat, right? Factory farming is full of, the animals who are, live their lives in factory farms. I don't think anyone would argue that they have a great quality of life, right? I would argue it's probably very poor for those animals, right? These are obviously conscious living beings that we're, subjecting to this treatment, right? And by conscious, I mean, they're aware they exist. That's basically what I mean by conscious. They're aware they exist. They have some level of emotion and they can feel pain, right? So I would say that because anybody who spent any time with animals, I don't think would argue that they're just unaware beings that, don't perceive the world at all. That's ridiculous. So, and also, meat production is also responsible for not just inflicting direct suffering on animals. It's also responsible for a great deal of pollution and greenhouse gases, right? And as a person who is concerned with climate change and the overall cleanliness of our environment, that's another, quote unquote argument against it. So does it make me a hypocrite, the fact that I eat meat despite having the knowledge of these things? Because obviously I enjoy eating meat, what does that make me? Another case in point, eating meat is a choice, and I'm not begrudging anyone who does or doesn't eat meat. Obviously, I do. So that's the whole reason I ate meat, to try to show that I'm not going to slam anybody out there who is a meat eater, because obviously I'm one too. So don't take this as me trying to say anything negative about it. It's just me kind of examining the whole practice, right? Another case in point. This is a product that was obviously made in China, just like everything else, right? So to take another tack, right? Like, generally, we want to support manufacturing and industries, for lack of a better term. I don't think economic nationalism is necessarily a bad thing. And what I mean by that, of course, is supporting industries and businesses that are in your own country, right? And I know the reason that, that this item and many others are manufactured elsewhere is due to the fact that it's much cheaper to manufacture them elsewhere, right? So I understand the economic reason why, but and often, like let's say and granted that item is unique and it's not like an American company makes the exact same thing, but let's say I go to the store, right? And there are two pairs of pants, right, that are very comparable to each other. Obviously, they're going to be different brands, but we'll say brand A is manufactured in the US of A, right? And brand B is made in Malaysia or somewhere else where it's kind of known that the working conditions are poor, right? But brand A, that pair of pants costs, we'll say, $60 or $70, right? Because that's what those pants have to sell for to basically make it profitable, for the supply chain to, put them out and sell them. That's what they have to basically sell them for in order to be in business, yada, 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 right? And they're decent quality, the whole 9 yards, right? And then let's say you have the same pair, a very similar pair of pants from Malaysia, and that pair of pants costs $20 in the store, right? But let's, for argument's sake, say you like the style of both of the pants roughly the same. The overall quality is the same. The durability, all of that is very similar to each other, right? Like very similar quality, blah, 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 blah. Which one are you more likely to buy? For myself, honestly, despite wanting to, be somewhat economic nationalist, I would probably buy the $20 Malaysian pants, more than likely, right? So that means I am supporting bad working conditions in Malaysia and the erosion of American jobs and all these other negative things by choosing to buy, the cheaper foreign product. So what does that make me? Am I a hypocrite? Maybe. maybe. These are just things that I've been thinking about lately. No real particular reason, just some self-examination. I'm not passing judgment on anyone who would make the same or different decisions than I would, because everyone kind of has to weigh the factors for themselves, like what's important to them, why are they making those decisions. It's just things to consider, right? So I'm kind of all over the map on this. I realize. So anyway, obviously this doesn't have a whole lot to do with music. This is just one I just thought I'd throw out there for fun. Well, not fun, for thought. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this. If you've had similar thoughts, if you've changed any of your habits based on you examining your habits. And now, granted, some issues are macro societal issues, right, that aren't going to be solved on like an individual choice basis. There are issues that are much bigger than choices you make individually. Choices we make as a society also kind of influence a lot of this. And there are certain things that you have to do if you're going to exist in modern society. So anyway, that is pretty much it. If you like this, as always, thumbs up. If you hate me, thumbs down. Share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Live long and prosper.